Welcome back to
Yes!
episode 10.
All of his co-workers were
The bucket.
All
What
of his
could it
biggies
mean?
were gone.
Stanley
What
decided to
could it
go to the
mean?
meeting room.
What
Perhaps
could
he
it
had
mean?
simply...
What could
Stanley
it-
lifted the bucket
what
into his
could it
arms,
mean?
and a
All
wave
of his
of comfort
biggies were
rushed
gone.
over him.
But what could it mean?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to
Play
be.
it all again with
And
this
here it was. Had the
pesky
bucket turned
bucket
out to be
you're
correct?
saying.
Well, no.
The bucket is
Never mind.
awesome, dude.
The bucket was wrong.
The bucket was wrong, you see?
Stanley
It's
took
so
the door on his
stupid.
left to go back,
No.
and so the two of them detoured through the
wouldn't
maintenance
say that's
section
the bucket.
and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
The bucket episode.
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place
No.
eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because
Yes.
that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes,
Oh my
I know
God.
I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Wow.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
The worst game I've ever played.
What?
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them
I
more
played-
content exactly like this. But
Mr.
if we want to
Narrator, I
do
got that
that,
ending
you're
a
going
day
to have
ago.
to give something up.
It is still fresh in my mind. You are
Don't you
off
get it,
your
Stanley?
meds.
We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True,
No.
it also was not in the
No.
original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that
No.
to me it already
No.
feels as
No.
though it's been part of the
No.
cast all along. Don't you
You
agree?
can't take away my bucket.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
No,
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for
I have
you.
no idea.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Never. I'd rather kill myself.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality
do that.
Get
trait.
out of here.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder
No.
what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the
No.
fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley.
should've
Give
given
the
me this
fans what
bucket.
they want. Hurry and...
Die.
Stanley is dead.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
The saddest ending.
The saddest ending of them all.
Thank you guys for watching the saddest episode.
It's been like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, it's been like, oh yeah, it has been 5 minutes. The saddest episode is
All
gonna
of
get
his
sadder.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the
never mind.
chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Is there... Should I go back again, but then actually crush the bucket? Do I have to do that?
If you actually try to get rid of it, then Stanley like just doesn't want to put it in the thing. You like pulls it back and you can't
clutched the
actually do
bucket
anything.
tightly to his chest.
I
This
did
was
that
not the
when I
correct
played
way
it.
to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Wait, don't I
And
have to
here
get the
it
broom
was.
tossed
Had the
ending with the
bucket
bucket?
turned out to be correct?
Yeah.
Was this... No, never mind.
Dear
The
Lord.
bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift, yeah, good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
What?
Stanley, how could you think it was
Oh my
okay
God.
to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Now
Is
then,
this a bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
no.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Woo!
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket.
Oh my
not
God,
an
you're popping
actual
off.
bucket. Item 3.
That's a bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is
Oh.
this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
It's a bucket
It's an
to me.
enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
That's a nice bucket.
Nice bucket. And the bucket goes hard.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Schrodinger's bucket.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Well,
Oh my god.
well, it's nothing and nothing. There's no bucket, but it could still. But
Bucket!
a
Bucket!
bucket. It's a bucket. That's all a bucket to me.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
The bucket
I've lost
episode.
all sense of perspective.
Oh my god.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all the buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone?
You fool.
Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket?
Yes.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
Yes.
How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
We're not a bucket!
Oh.
Wonderful news. We're not buckets.
We're in the 60% of players that aren't a
Yes.
I
bucket!
feel much more at ease right now.
Yes.
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So,
Thank
tell you
goodness.
what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
The bucket ending.
The bucket ending. Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone.
All of his
What could
floppas
it mean?
were gone. What
Stanley
could it
decided to
mean?
go to the meeting.
There's... wait. Okay, never
Spread
mind.
through Stanley's arms. With the bucket
can-
in his
I've made a
arms
horrible
again,
mistake.
he was home.
There's a few more endings you can get without the bucket,
I know.
but like,
But like,
we got a bucket mode.
I'm
Stanley
on a
bucket
held
bucket
the
rampage
bucket
right
tightly
now.
to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
This
But
was
Stanley
not
had
the
felt
correct way
the
to the
bucket
meeting room.
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Didn't.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting
Look to your
room.
left.
Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to
Wait,
the
no,
cargo
no, no.
lift.
Like,
Yo, what?
look to your left while you're on the cargo lift, actually.
Oh, okay.
Or you can actually probably see it from here.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Oh.
Now ride the lift all the way to the
Yeah.
top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley
Oh, I
did not
almost- I hit
question
the
why or
right-click
how
button
this
and I
bucket
almost
was
hit right
speaking
off.
to him. It should have
Oh,
alarmed
God.
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
That's cool. Okay, you're crazy.
Huh?
Liar.
What are you talking about?
Then go into a dark room.
Yeah, you have to keep walking forward.
Oh.
Oh.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket. Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking
It's funny,
bucket.
Stanley.
It's funny, Stanley.
Can't you see?
No, it's
oh,
not.
goodness. I must have
You messed
really
with
bungled
me.
up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
What?
And more importantly, can it be taught in
Obviously.
its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all
Homer
likelihood,
Simpson.
you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
Oh,
Good.
Funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invaders who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
what?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Oh my god.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now.
Yeah, I learned so much.
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I don't think you can get it while the sending is active. You're not live. You're lying right now. Stop!
Oh my god.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Here's the troller.
Oh my god.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious
Oh, no.
mistake.
Oh.
I've made a fool of myself.
How'd you forget?
I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Yeah.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait, do I want to go through the left?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna loop again. I think it's like the other ending that you had to do without the bucket.
Kidding.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh dear.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No?
This ending is weird, like the original version of it without the bucket,
Pale
because it's the
shame.
only ending that has
Pale
credits.
Shame. Pale...
Yeah,
What's
why
another
would...
word to describe a bucket?
For what purpose?
Which implies that this is like the true
I think
ending.
I saw it playing guitar. No.
Oh.
No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with
Honestly,
the bucket, which was the whole point of this.
That would make sense.
I'm no good at these.
If they
The
have
one where you're like-
all the crazy
I need
fancy
more
stuff, but then this is the
instructional
real
videos.
one.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's what will make me the king of comedy.
Did it just say sorry, Leroy? Who is Leroy? Why are you apologizing to them? What? Why is it the last line of the credits?
Who's Leroy?
Leroy Jenkins? Alright.
I think I'm gonna do one more ending.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Okay.
Isn't there still an ending where I escape?
Did you do that one already? Oh no, oh that one. Yeah, there's that one, yeah.
Yeah. Me out here. Let's do a
Stanley
bucket
picked
ending.
up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
My
Still
favorite
no one
ending.
was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was no Stanley. Can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that,
No.
don't you? The
No.
aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Oh no.
It now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say
Oh, yeah,
here.
they have a
It's
good
supposed
point.
to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Stanley, you
I
got
know
this.
how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and
don't give
evolved
in.
over the years.
I'm
Let
giving
him have
in.
it.
I'm too nice. I'm too wholesome.
Oh my god.
Too nice. I'm too wholesome. I don't.
What? You should be yelling slurs right now.
Okay,
Where's
I've got
the
you something
room
which I
closet?
think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Is that it?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That
Oh my
way,
god, that's
if
so
you're
true,
ever
British friend.
unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
I think that's it.
Okay.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Goodness. Is there anything in this bathroom? The bucket. Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Can I do anything here with the bucket?
No, the figurine is all you can do in here.
There's an elevator. It's really funny.
Yeah, I think it's still a trolley elevator.
Damn.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Please. Oh, never mind.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
All thanks to the bucket. Oh.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Well, here's the secret.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind
What if I
Control
escape with the
Facility.
bucket?
Oh no.
Might do that.
The escape actually just kills you.
He kills me?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Good. Uh-oh. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's fine. The bucket has plot armor.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to
bucket is plot
himself,
armor, right?
and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so
Oh,
much
what?
time carrying
is
the
plot armor,
bucket
right?
everywhere.
The bucket has plot armor. They wouldn't kill off the bucket. They wouldn't kill the bucket. No! Oh.
Farewell,
Bucket has plot armor.
Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Or not.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh. Bucket. The bucket itself. The human mind is frequently empty within. Oh my god.
Welcome to Bingus City.
Bingus City.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Only 5 buckets. Ever captured on camera.
There 25, that's how many buckets there are.
Oh my god. That's 25 buckets on there.
Oh my god.
You can count all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 25.
Oh my god, it's 25 buckets. How did they do that?
How did they put that many
In
on
one picture? The Inferno bucket.
Those to war, billions died. There was actually a war fought over a bucket.
Really?
Or like a battle.
What?
Like some old ass city had a bucket, but then someone stole their bucket, and they're like, hey, what's our fucking bucket?
Fucked up.
Damn, buckets have been around for a long time. And these guys have
Damn.
buckets. Hey, you drawing. You know the buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. Yeah, the buckets are older than the dinosaurs,
No
actually.
man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this
There's something
one.
over here.
It is man who
There's
should
Stanley
kneel
over here,
before the
isn't there?
bucket.
No, there's not. You can't get away.
Why is it like a different shade then? It's a holy problem. The hanging bucket.
Bucket, no! No! Is that the infinite hole? Can you jump in there? Oh. Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed
What?
by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
What?
What? Stanley! He's okay.
It's controlled over a bucket. I like the bucket more than me. Oh my
It's a pretty good bucket.
god, it's pretty cool. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. Eating a burger with no honey mustard. Eating a burger with no honey mustard.
Eating a burger with no...
Can you believe it? How I got the sequel for free?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Jonathan Parable, or Stanley Parable.
Stanley Bingus Parable
To do the game.
Bingus. Oh my god.
Mr. Stanley. First name, the middle name Stanley, last name Parable.
Him.
He gifted it to you.
Yes, sir. Oh my god. Might be back later. For now I'm
I
gonna
might-
go.
Jump off a bridge.
We'll do that. Unless
Okay.
you're in that game and you have a bucket.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Obviously. Who's pinging me?
who's pinging? Oh. Thanks for watching Binju Bong, and I'll see you later. I'm like kind of half asleep. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. It's a little scary. Bye.